Do we want to get to Dan here?
Yeah, let's get to Dan right now.
Okay, Dan Zielinski, our resident draft expert, as we inch now 48 hours away from day one of the amateur draft here in Major League Baseball. Dan, you're at Miller Park?
Yes, I am. Thank
All
you,
right.
Tim and Sparky, for having me on tonight.
No problem. You don't need to thank us. It's fine. Here we go, inching closer. Any new news that we should be aware of here out of the 5-hole for the Brewers?
Well, today news broke that prep Puerto Rican shortstop Delvin Perez failed a drug test today, so that kind of takes his name out of the hat for the Brewers at number 5. They've been linked heavily to him. Guy with a high ceiling, great defensively, kind of questionable with the bat, but he's a guy who now probably won't even get picked in the first, maybe even second round. So it kind of limits, I guess, the options for the Brewers now.
What kind of drug? Well, hold on here.
Drug of abuse?
What kind of drug are we talking about?
Yeah.
Was it marijuana or was it a PED?
That is still unknown.
Okay, well, let me just say this. If it was marijuana or something of that sort, if he's there in the second round, then you take him. If it's a PED, then that's different.
Fit right in at Colorado Springs.
Yeah, if it's PED, then that's a little bit different with Braun. I mean, then you change your things. So what down are you thinking is at 5? That outfielder Ray from Chicago? Is that what everybody thinks now?
Corey Ray?
Yeah, Corey Ray from Louisville is probably the safer option at number 5. I still think, though, prep left-hander Jason Groom and prep righty Riley Pine.
That's who I want
in the mix. At number 5.
I want Riley Pine. That's who I want.
Another high school arm.
Dude, this dude is nasty.
The one issue with him, though, is kind of his command and delivery. Some teams are kind of questioning about if injury-wise, if that can be sustainable.
So you mean like Nick Nugebauer?
Hold on. Mechanically, then... So mechanically, they're concerned, because there were concerns over Taylor Youngman and his mechanics, Cody Medeiros and his mechanics. So there's going to be another one.
Correct. Kind of has an unorthodox delivery, a lot of effort for his delivery. So
did Lincecum too, though.
Yeah,
so
he's been clocked at 102 miles an hour a couple times this year. So he does
out of high school.
Incredible fastball.
How do you say no to 102 miles an hour? I don't care how he throws it. Ray's not going to be a guy that's going to hit 4 for you, right, Dan?
Correct. He's probably going to be maybe a 20-20 guy at best.
At best.
So he's not a power guy.
Right.
No.
Okay.
There is no Braun in this draft that I know of, right?
The one guy who hits for a lot of power is Kyle Lewis, the outfielder from Mercer.
Right.
He'll probably be a corner outfielder in the pros, playing center field right now. He's got the best power, but otherwise, really, there's not that superstar type position player as of now.
Okay, let me ask you this: as a minor league guy, if you were a guy drafting, if you were Ray Montgomery, let's say, are you taking a high school pitcher or a college pitcher if you're that guy?
Well, for this draft, for the Brewers at number 5, I'd be taking Jason Groom at number 5, the prep left-hander from New Jersey. Clean delivery, solid command, has 3 above-average pitches in his fastball, curveball, and changeup.
Is he a big dude?
He's 6'4", around 200 pounds.
That's big enough.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll work.
What's his fastball clock at?
Mid-90s, been up at 96.
Nice. I like that. And you're saying he could be there at 5?
I think so. The Rockies have shown interest in him. Their GM was out to scout him last week. They might select him at number 4, but as of now, I see the draft count playing out with A.J. Puck going 1, and then Nick Senzel 2, Kyle Lewis 3, and then the Rockies taking Mickey Moniak, the outfielder from California. So
could you imagine that Groom and then couple him up with Josh Hader?
Yeah, I think Groom would probably slide in as maybe the number 2 pitching prospect in the Brewers system right after.
Where would he go overall, though, in the prospect list for the team?
2.
But pitching, he would be the number 2 pitcher, he said. But would he be overall? Would he be a top 5 within the system?
I think he'd be the top 5. Arcia probably 1, Phillips, Hader 2, 3, and then probably Groom at number 4.
Okay.
Well, okay. So I don't know how far into this you get, but are you liking the prospects of what's going to be there for them early second, and then that compensation pick after the second, because they're going to get 3 picks on day 1 coming up on Thursday.
Exactly.
Yep.
There will be, because this draft is filled with high school arms, some are bound to fall down to the Brewers at number 2, so they could take another high school arm at 2. It just kind of depends with the signing bonus demands. But otherwise, there will be some college outfielders who are going to fall down there, along with some high school position players as well. So the Brewers are in a good position in that second round to get either a high-ceiling high school pitcher or maybe play it a little safer with a outfielder, say Buddy Reed from Florida, with their second-round pick.
They're going to have to trade for somebody's first baseman in another system. That's how this is going to have to play out.
I would think.
Right?
Correct. I think so. There's corner infield positions this year, really the infield in general. It's kind of a down year in the draft.
You get the 5th pick overall, and you choose now, 2016. For all accounts, a really bad draft, right? Collectively?
It's all right. It's nothing special. It's not terrible. There's not that clear-cut number 1 guy. It's rich with high school arms, which makes it an interesting draft because teams are always skittish to select those prep arms, especially towards the top. So it's not a terrible draft, but it's also not a great draft, especially position player.
Yeah, I think it's risky. I think it's risky to go ahead with your number 1 as a high schooler. I mean, I can see 6'4", 220 and throwing gas from the left side. You know, that one I get. But then all of a sudden you turn around, you're going to go another high school guy in your second or third pick?
This isn't about competing next year, Tim. This isn't about competing in 2 years, Tim.
Anything about that.
This is taking the best players with the highest ceiling and seeing how far it takes you. They could take 3 high school pitchers on day 1.
That's why I think the Brewers, too, at number 5 should be in position to maybe take a little bit of a gamble and select a guy like Groom or Pine because they're in a rebuild mode. They need pitching, and these 2 are the top 1-2 players in this year's draft.
I read a story a couple of months ago on this Groom kid that he had moved to Florida, and then he moved back, and then he gets on the field with his high school team, throws a no-hitter, and then the other team says, "Whoa, wait a second here. That ain't no hitter. You're ineligible because you moved." And I believe they took a no-hitter away from him.
Yeah, correct. They wiped out his stats from that point to the beginning of the season.
He's just going to have to haul off and do it for the Brewers then.
Yeah, exactly. There's some question marks, I guess, maturity-wise. I mean, he's 17, 18-year-old kid. There's also been rumors that if he doesn't get at least $4 million in signing bonus, that he would go the JUCO route.
No.
That's what you want.
No.
Signing bonus slot value at about $4.5 million. So
they can do it.
Yeah, to pay him that amount of money. So
yeah, they can pay him.
Exactly.
That's fine. Hey, Dan, what's your website? Everybody can go read it.
It's the number 3 rdmanin.com. Thirdmanin.com.
Thirdmanin.com. He interviews all these younger guys, these prep guys, the college guys.
Really good site.
Really, really dynamite stuff. Good writer. And we'll have you on again Thursday, right?
Correct.
Yeah, we're gonna be following that draft, and there's some local kids in the area, one of which may go in the lower first round.
Shortstop out of Indian Trail in Kenosha.
Out of Kenosha, yeah. And there's a catcher from Verona, the Madison area, that is definitely going to go as well. So it's going to be fun, and we'll do that on Thursday. Dan Zielinski from the thirdmanin.com. Dan, thanks.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Sparky. Have a good one.
Yep. All right. Take it easy.